Allied Technologies, Altech, has released its full-year results, with the company swinging to a diluted basic loss per share of 2.75 cents. And earlier we spoke to Altech CEO Craig Venter.
Yeah, it's tough because the group is quite diverse. I mean, it's telecoms, multimedia and IT, 35 operating companies within Altech, so quite vast. However, in summary, the results really, if you look at all the other Altech companies within the group, they performed well. So there's no real areas of concern in really 33 out of the 35 operating companies. The two operating companies that caused us problems and concern and affected the results and the margins is most surely Altech East Africa and Altech West Africa. And in both cases, I mean, we've got to take the results on the chin, and we're taking them on the chin. Taking responsibility for the results, but we do have remedial plans. We are fixing things. We've put things in place that are actually going to bode well for the future.
You're saying that you're committed in turning around East Africa, and it seems that you are going to continue operations there. But when you look at the West African region, you have said that you are going to be selling your business there, so you are planning to exit this market in its entirety.
I think West Africa, we've been involved now for about 8 years, and we've made consistently good profits in West Africa for 8 years. Just in the last 12 months, we found that there's been pricing pressures, margin pressures within West Africa. We've also seen some regulatory changes within West Africa that have given us cause for concern. And at the same time, we've seen our banking card business not being as buoyant and flowing through as quickly as what we wanted. So the board, the Altech board, felt that this is probably the right time for us to sell the activity and dispose of it, which we're in the process of doing currently. It's a good business, it's a good environment, but for us right now, we've had 8 years, and we always said, even in the past, that we would look at our businesses continuously, and when they reached a point that we felt that maybe we should sell them off or dispose of them, we would do that at the right time.
What's interesting to note is that we are seeing a lot of growth within this region. A lot of multinational companies are finding a lot of value in operating in this region, and we could also see very much a cashless society. Don't you think that there could be some opportunity for Altech down the line?
We do. I think, you know, you're right. West Africa, in particular Nigeria, which is where our business is located, it is seen globally as an emerging market of magnitude. It's got huge volumes. But you know what, at the end of the day, we've had 8 years of growth out of that particular area. The business is still operating well. It's not like it's a bad business. It's actually a good business. It's just the right time for us right now to be able to dispose of that, take the proceeds from that sale, and then deploy it in more high growth areas that we feel could serve us well for the next 8 years in maybe different areas. So, you know, but as you say, I think, you know, a lot of the global companies see Nigeria as a major growth area, and that's why we're seeing a lot of interest in the purchase of our West African operation.
So when do you expect a turnaround in Kenya?
In Kenya, I think that, you know, what we want to do is we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So I think that my point and my message currently is we've put in the necessary remedial plans. We are fixing and we've put a lot in place that I believe will show benefit over the next 12 months. But we need to wait and see and make sure that we do things right. I think that the main area there is that our business there still is profitable. Man, at EBITDA level, or earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization, it's profitable. It made 53 million rand profit at earnings level, at EBITDA level. Now, you know, the big thing with a network or a telecoms network, if you've got a very big depreciation charge, because you have to depreciate the network itself. So below EBITDA, when you get to profit before tax level, it doesn't look good and it shows a loss because of the huge depreciation charge. And at the same time, we have some external funding within our East African business where our finance charges are quite high. So that has caused the business to look not good at the PBT level, but it looks okay at EBITDA level. We're forecasting it to be cash positive within the next 12 months. So we do see some light at the end of the tunnel, and we have put plans in place to fix the problems.
Netstar, again, being one of the best performing divisions for Altech, and what's quite exciting is that you're looking for more acquisitions, and this time you are going to delve into Latin America. Tell us about the prospects markets within this region, and what kind of growth potential lies ahead?
Yes, I think Latin America is a high growth area for vehicle tracking, always has been. I think it's an emerging market or geographic portion of the world that we see as hugely attractive. It's less risky doing business, I believe, in that emerging environment than maybe Europe or America, so we've stayed away from Europe and America for Netstar's geographic global expansion, and we've focused on Latin America. We've looked at countries like Brazil, Argentina, which are really, really good growth areas for vehicle tracking. We've been looking at a deal that we've been working on for quite some time now, but I want to leave no stone unturned on this particular acquisition, and hence the reason why it's taking time. But we are in the final stages of that particular deal. It's still very positive, and at the right time we'll make the announcement, but we do see Netstar becoming a much bigger global player going forward.
We're waiting with bated breath to find out from the communications department as to when we are going to finally move onto the digital platform. The selling of set-top boxes for Altech doing very well in the likes of Australia and Europe, but as I mentioned, we're still waiting for news in this regard. Do you have any clarity on this, and what kind of course, opportunities lie ahead for Altech when we do eventually hear on the standards required for the set-top boxes that need to be manufactured for South Africa?
I think, it's been a bit frustrating, to be honest, because I think the South African government and the Department of Communications must make some decisions and actually start moving, because it will affect the ICT industry negatively if we don't. There's a huge opportunity to create massive employment for South Africa in terms of local employees, local software development, installers, putting up dishes for DTT, doing a whole host of activities which will create employment. So I'm really confident and hoping that the Minister will make the decisions as she said that she would, and that she'll get that program rolling very quickly, because I think that's very important for the industry and, as I say, for employment. I think you're right. In Germany, we acquired a business called Set1 through UEC, and they've gone through digital migration. They're actually right at the tail end of it now, so we're seeing really positive activities in Germany. At the same time, Australia's done the same. They've gone digital migration, and we've seen huge growth there, and very good. We've employed more people there. The economy there is thriving, so things are really good in those areas, and I'm hoping South Africa will follow suit, but we need to make decisions quickly, because we do have some deadlines in terms of switching off the analog transmission and switching on digital, which, as you know, is end of 2013. If those decisions aren't taken now, we're going to miss that deadline.
Over the period, you acquired a Yenza. It's a mobile money transfer system. Tell us about this acquisition.
Yenza was a very specific acquisition that was very important to the Altech suite of products across the board. We, within Altech, are very much involved in telecoms, multimedia and IT in terms of the convergence of those. And in that area, you require a mobile money platform, or an e-wallet, if you will. And Altech, it was a glaring kind of vacancy within Altech's product range where we didn't have a mobile wallet or an e-wallet platform, and that platform or software platform was critical. So we went out and made the acquisition of Yenza, and Yenza now is being utilized within the entire Altech group as our potential money payment platform going forward.